And we're back for another episode of Bodybuilding and Business.
Hercules.
I don't clap that way.
That's what it looked like.
I do.
I need to drink this thing, though, dude.
All right. Let's get her started. Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
That's what they say. I wasn't tired at all today until I started driving home. And just going on North Avenue, I was like...
And the thought of recording a podcast with me just puts you right to sleep.
I was like, dude, this guy's boring.
This guy's at my house already. I'm going to have to...
No, that was good timing, though.
I did a very good job.
Yeah, you did.
I knew what you said.
But you knew what you knew.
Yes, I knew what you said, but I knew what I knew, and I didn't listen to what you said.
Listen, dude. The way punctuality is set up is just give me an extra 15. Unless you're paying for a service.
Then that's not the case. Where'd you put this?
I just put
Dude,
it.
are you sure? The white printer?
Yeah, this thing, I don't like it.
The brother's out of here, dude.
Got a new one.
Is that what was over there?
Yeah.
Does it do headshots?
Do you want to?
It's an office reference.
Oh. I figured.
You bought a new printer, and it says specifically the kind for headshots? It's a thing. You wouldn't get it. One day. You'll grow up and get there. All right, so we have a topic today.
Yeah, we do.
And I think it's a good one. But before we get into it, and you don't even know what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Sometimes, guys, we know, or we pretend like we don't know what we might say, but Greg really doesn't know what I'm about to say right now.
I don't know.
I've been
Tanning.
negligent towards some direct messages, and I feel awful about it, and I saw it today.
Yeah. This is why
No one follows us. This is why our social media following is unexisting, because I'm awful at social media. So everybody, if you ever message Bodybuilding and Business, please apologize, because I'm the one in charge of it right now.
If Pat decides to not answer you,
and I'm terrible at it,
please message GVL_fitness.
I'm not even mad about not responding to any of you. There's just one person in particular I'm sorry for, and I'm going to make a small apology, and we're going to answer this question real quick.
Oh, it's a question.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shout out, Mom.
Oh, shit.
I received a 2-week-old message. Or I opened. I shouldn't say
you
received.
You didn't receive.
I opened a 2-week.
You received it 2 weeks ago.
A 2-week-old message, and I feel terrible.
What'd she say?
From Mom. She said, "Can you guys please talk about how to get rid of stubborn belly fat?"
Oh, my mom?
Yeah. My mom does an internet.
Oh, Ethernet.
Yeah. Yeah. Not my mom.
Well, dude, you don't.
Did you think it was my mom?
Well, yeah.
No. You think I'd apologize to my mom on the internet?
Well, I don't know. The amount my mom shares us every time we have an episode, I would have assumed that you would have already followed her back and it wouldn't be in your requests.
It's not. I answer her DMs all the time.
You just said that it was in your requests.
No, it was just in the because sometimes people will reshare us, and it'll just be like, oh, they liked you, or they liked it, or reshared it.
This is the problem with you not clearing your notifications, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, whatever. So, man, I missed it, and I'm sorry. But
I already answered this for her. But
did you answer it?
Hold on.
Okay.
We talked about this on Mother's Day because she asked it to me again, because I think she did write it on YouTube before.
Oh, did she?
So she brought it up on breakfast. She's like, by the way, she's like, are you ever going to answer my question? I said, what question? And then she fired it off. So I said, no, we're not. And this is why.
Well,
and I spit it off real quick. Now it all makes
sense why she asked that. And you were like, no.
But because I know what your answer is going to be, I want clarification for her. I'm not even going to reiterate what I already told her. I want you to tell her and the people your answer. And she's like, wow, that's what my intelligent son already said to me. And then maybe it'll stick.
Okay. You know one thing we forgot to do today, but we're just going to tough it out before I answer this?
Do karate in the garage? Oh, no, the fan.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tough it out. I already feel it.
Well, since you're answering, do you want me to get up and do it?
No. You're going to get in front of the shot. It might blur some things.
Dude, I'm a Ninjago behind it.
It's okay. I'll survive.
If I get hot, then I'm going to get up.
I'm going to rip my sleeves off if I get hot.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to be like me.
You can't spot reduce fat.
Check.
It's impossible. Period.
That's how I started it.
Your body will lose fat when and where it pleases. With the caveat if you are doing proper exercise and nutrition to lose body fat, you will obviously lose body fat. But I mean, in regards to where it is losing body fat, it will choose where and how fast you will lose it from each area. You cannot pick and choose. Otherwise, people would not go to the gym and train other parts of their body. They would go to the gym and just do sit-ups for 2 hours straight, and everyone would have a chiseled six-pack. Just like, and I'm not picking on anyone in particular by saying this, but just to elaborate on the question, some women carry body fat or extra unwanted body fat in their arms. Some may
call
say
it the Chelsea Handler.
I call it bingo wings at times.
Yeah, that works too.
There are some that say because women tend to have less muscle mass in their arms, this is the reason why the fat will accumulate there more. I'm not going to say that that's 100% the truth or not. Regardless, this is the same as saying, oh, I have bigger arms. Can't I just train arms more often and then that body fat disappear? It's not.
Nope.
It's not how it works.
Nope.
It's just like if somebody had fat on their legs, it doesn't mean you can go train legs every day and get rid of the fat on your legs, your glutes. It doesn't matter where the fat is. You cannot train a certain area to lose body fat in said area. You can't spot reduce.
The good news is,
The
if
great
you're lean
news,
everywhere else,
the great news is
and the last place you have to go is belly fat, guess where you're going to lose?
your belly fat. So as long as you just keep working, it'll come off.
What's that word with a C?
I think it's Confucius
says.
Oh, consistency.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Consistency. As long as you stay consistent with it, it will come. And that's the unfortunate
It's the truth.
unfortunate pitfall to all when starting these endeavors is not just your mom, anybody will start to work out. They'll see some results. They'll see things happen, but they won't see them happen when and where they want to see them happen. And then they'll stop because they think it's impossible. When
and
really,
they think they're just spinning the wheels. Why am I wasting my time?
You could just be on the verge. You could just be right about to
Get rid of that stubborn belly fat.
Yep. You got to keep going. You got to keep being consistent.
Push it real good.
Good friends of the podcast, Salt and Pepper, once said that.
Yeah, salt and pepper's here, man.
Push it real good, to be specific. Okay, so there's that answer. Apologies have been made. I hope.
How dare you disrespect my mother?
What's the opposite of an apology when they accept it? There's not a word for that.
Forgiveness.
Oh, apologies have been made. I hope forgiveness can be given. Moving on. Is it the first time we've ever had an apology on the podcast?
Probably. I'm not even sure it was warranted.
I still gave it.
You know what? No, you owe my mom an apology for not answering her.
I know. That's why I'm doing this right now.
But the question itself was already answered, so I guess she already got this. You know.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give that.
I get it. She's probably like, dude, my son hates me. She probably thinks that I have access.
For sure.
So
I think everyone
podcast
thinks you
I'm
have.
part of,
I
you know.
think everyone thinks you have access to it.
yeah, I don't.
I wish I could give it to you, bud. Wish I knew how to get you in there with me. All right. So now that that's out of the way, should we get into it?
Let's talk.
Do you have
dirty,
anything
dude.
you want to talk about real quick? Anything you want to get off your chest?
I mean, I'm really passionate about the subject that we're going to talk about. So, I mean, if I'm going to start ranting, we should probably just save it for that. The way my voice is set up, I only got so much.
There was a bodybuilding show since the last time we've had a podcast.
There was.
That beef stew guy looked pretty good.
Oh.
No, not that.
Oh,
like
okay.
a professional bodybuilding
Yes.
show. I don't think we're going to every show that happens like that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, good point.
Yeah. Professional show, the New York Pro. Another big show. Did we talk about the Arnold? We did talk about the Arnold on here.
Briefly.
Yeah, we just touched on
yes.
quickly how I thought Nick's looked, but then again, we understand why they're going a certain direction, yada, yada, yada. We talked
Think
about that.
this curly-headed fuck, man.
Hair, unreal.
Dude.
Even if he looked a little bit worse, he looked great.
Listen. Part of me is like, it just takes from you. Because that's like, I'm so zoned
you're distracted
in at looking at his hair.
Yeah.
But then the other part of me is like, man, maybe he gets more attention because the judges look at him.
It's Jay Cutler-esque. Jay Cutler said, when people asked about the iconic slicked back Jay hair, he was like, well, yeah, I kept it because I was a bodybuilder who had hair.
Yeah.
Like it was,
And most
he
don't.
almost made it seem like it as much that he didn't just enjoy it. He also just it was part of his persona. Like, I have it, so I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it.
Most of these guys can't do this.
Right.
So I'm going to do it right now.
100%. And that's, I think, what this guy's doing too.
Yeah, it's possible.
It is wild.
It is possible. I heard him saying that, like, everyone in his family has hair like that. And he's like, so as long as I have hair.
Keeping it.
He basically said what Jay said. He said,
Yeah.
most bodybuilders don't. He's like, so I'm going to keep it.
Hair aside, he looked great.
I think he looked great.
I think he deserves second. I think
Yes.
Tonio was just lethal. Like,
I mean, it was literally just, here you go.
yep.
That's you.
Dude, he was good. He was real
He was
good.
Real good. Although, homeboy got sick and didn't get to compete.
Homeboy.
Carlos.
Oh, yeah, you're a fan of his. I have low expectations for him.
Dude, he's got potential, man.
Yeah, great until I see it. I think yes, he's a great bodybuilder. Obviously, better than me, better than you, better than all of us, right? I understand why he won the national. It was nationals, right?
Yeah.
I understand why he won nationals. I get it. I saw it. And I understand why that would give you the hype to also then translate that into being a good pro. But I thought the weaknesses that he had were really glaring that would like completely prevent him from being as dangerous.
But
on
that's
a pro
why
stage.
I think it would have been cool to see him on
sure.
stage
Yep.
and see how he lines up.
Yeah.
Because he's someone who I don't think would have won this show, right?
No.
But it would have been great to see
Yeah,
and give him a couple
just to
years.
just to finally see where he actually stacks up.
Bright future.
I agree.
Same thing with curly headed.
I think Tonio was taking that regardless. It didn't matter who was showing up. He was there to win. But yeah, I'll keep my comments to myself until I see him on stage.
You do that, man.
I will.
No one asked you anyway.
No one cares about what I have to say.
Yeah.
All right, now that that's done, this topic, drum roll, please. Bad coaches. Yeah. Not like the movie Bad Moms with our fave gal, Mila Kunis. That would also be a fun topic.
We could talk about Mila Kunis for a long time.
Yeah. We're not talking about her, though.
Yeah, fine, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
We're talking about bad coaches and bad coaching. It is ever growing and apparent the number of people that consider themselves, I wouldn't say qualify themselves because qualify is not the word, because they're definitely not that consider themselves coaches in this industry, that being the bodybuilding industry, health and fitness industry, that are just so severely not qualified to do what they claim they do.
So here's the deal. They're coaches, right? They are. They call themselves coaches. They have clients that pay them. They do some stuff to get their clients some results, right?
Yep.
So I'm not even going to say they're not coaches, right? Because just like any sport, whatever, there's some that are way more superior than others, right?
Yeah. Like there's bad teachers and good teachers.
Here's the issue. I get people have to start somewhere.
Yep.
Okay? You have to crawl, walk, run.
Yep.
The first person you coach, you probably will make some learning mistakes. They might not even be mistakes. They might be something that got that person pretty damn far. But it's like, man, a year later, you learned a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know? And wow, I could have done A, B, and C differently. Okay. Move on, move forward, whatever, right? There's a lot of these coaches out there now who aren't just learning and getting better and better year after year. They are literally going in there with zero qualifications, right?
Yeah.
And just fucking people up. It's not really a matter of like, hey, they're just not producing good clients. Like, because at that point, okay, well, who cares? People are going to see that and they're going to go on and go to the next coach and find somebody that works for them.
Yeah.
Right? It's the fact that they don't know what they're doing from a training aspect, from a nutrition aspect, from stress mitigation, like so many things that go into being a contest prep coach, right? And keeping your clients, not only their results, but their health as a main area of focus, okay?
For sure.
All of that's just out the window. Literally, hey, I'm just going to have this person do an hour fasted, do their hour and a half workout, do 30 minutes post, and before bed, go do another 30 minutes of cardio. I'm going to pull their carbs all the way down and blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah. Anybody's going to drop body fat doing that.
Well, you're even giving credit.
Temporarily.
Yeah, you're giving a lot of credit saying that.
Temporary. You know what I mean?
They're going to drop weight.
Yes. Bingo. Anybody can just make someone's scale drop.
Yes.
But what are you actually doing from an internal standpoint
Yeah.
and an external standpoint? You
Sure.
know? And I just think that it's the coach's fault for putting themselves in a situation where they're in charge of people's health, right? And knowing, because I believe that most know that they're probably not knowledgeable enough yet to be doing what they're doing.
I don't know. Go ahead.
But we'll get there.
Sure.
But where I see a big issue, though, is why are the clients choosing these coaches?
I think
I think it's an issue that people literally will shop based on, number one, price.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Big no-no, right? Number two, how is this guy's social media presence?
Yeah.
You know, like they're shopping for the wrong reasons and they're not really paying attention to, okay, well, what kind of clients has he put out? What do the clients say about him? Like, how did his clients look 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year after they've competed? You know, have they done more shows,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? They don't. Oh, this coach has a lot of followers. This coach says A, B, and C. He hypes his people up. I'm going to sign up with him.
This coach doesn't charge anything, and he reached out to me and offered to coach me.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
No.
Oh.
No, like, but I think that's a real thing.
Oh, no, it's for sure a thing. Because
I-
I've heard people say that, you
Yeah.
know?
And listen, this is not directed at any one person, and I also I want to make this episode very clear that this is not just a direct relationship to social media. Because we've talked about some things in the industry that like heavily link to social media and that changing things. We're going to give probably a dozen examples of why and when social media does play a role into this. But I really don't think that is even it. I think this just all comes down to money.
On both ends.
Yeah.
Client and coaches end.
Everything that's in there are so many bad coaches, and we're going to give examples of why we think people are bad coaches and what qualifies somebody as a bad and a good coach, yada, yada, yada. It all just boils down to money. Because I've seen the export trainer who doesn't even know what a bodybuilding show is get someone who says, can you get me in the best shape of my life because I want to do this thing? And they're like, yep, because they know there's a price tag attached to it.
100%.
And then vice versa, because from the client standpoint, I'm going to hire whoever I can hire as long as they tell me that they can do it for the price that I'm looking for. And it's like, boy, oh boy, you're just rolling the dice with your health, aren't you?
Yep.
Certain things in life.
Sure.
Personally,
The stroke goes on, ladies and gentlemen.
the streak continues. Personally, I don't think you roll the dice on. We actually agree on a lot of these things.
Go ahead.
Your vehicle, probably shouldn't roll the dice on that.
Nope.
It's one of those investments that you should probably spend some money on because it gets you everywhere you need to go.
And we're not talking, hey, like you only make $3,000 a month, go get a $1,500 car payment.
Nope.
We're saying it's something that you need to make sure you're not being too cheap,
Right.
where you're putting yourself at risk to getting to your job on time, safety, et cetera, right?
Yes.
I think they get the point.
Yeah, they get it. Your food.
Don't blow your budget. Don't buy a car outside of your means.
Yes.
But it's something that you should splurge a little bit more opposed to, hey, well, I want to get Starbucks every morning and I want to get this and I want to get that and I'd rather spend the money on that than the extra $100 on the car payment.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, again, those are examples. There's examples of certain things that you need to spend the money on.
Yes.
Food, which technically is your health. So like your food should be something you're willing to spend a little bit more money on to get proper quality from it because that's related to your health. That's how you operate on a daily basis.
Ding.
And that's, that ties into the training thing. And again, there's a list of things that sometimes you don't cheap out on certain things. You want to buy cheap socks because you like cheap socks and you don't want to spend money on socks. Go buy cheap socks.
Go for it.
I don't care.
Your feet might stink, or they might get cold, or they might get too hot.
Or after 3 months, you got to buy more new ones again.
But you're not hurting yourself.
No, socks are cheap regardless. This one is a big one.
Yeah, you're talking about somebody who's not only, in most cases, right, if they fit the criteria, prescribing your nutrition, prescribing supplementation, including, in a lot of these cases, PEDs.
Right.
Prescribing your nutrition, your cardio programming, your strength training programming. I think I repeated those.
That's okay.
And also reviewing blood work, maybe. Like doing very important things that are very, very controlling over your health and your future health, right?
For sure.
Why are you going to go just based on price? I've had people literally message me like, hey, how much do you charge monthly for coaching? Not, hey, what is your approach with coaching? What do you do with your clients? Why should I go to you over somebody else?
Or I've seen...
And then maybe when it comes to price,
right,
then be like, hey, is there any way I can
right,
pay X or split the payment? Or
right,
can I pay more? Can I commit to more upfront to get a cheaper discount?
Right.
You know, like we can talk about a price.
For sure.
Everyone's going to ask a price.
Yep.
But there's so much more important things.
Yeah.
When that's the first thing I get, it's like, okay, bye.
Yeah. This is going to be, unfortunately, a waste of my time.
Yep.
And price should be a factor because you should budget for yourself. You should. That should be
for
one
life
of your
in general.
Yes, that should be one of your follow-up questions.
But if you want to bodybuild, even just personal train, right? Like you're just trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
This is something that you should be budgeting more heavily for.
Yeah.
Your health should be number one. That
And
fancy car, those nice clothes, all that other shit. What good do they do if, one, you don't look good, feel good in them, or two, you're not around long enough to enjoy them?
That's a good one, dude. You won't be around for long if you don't take care of your health. That's what they say, at least. My grandma lived to 94, and she was drinking a bottle of wine every day and doing all those kind of things, you know?
Yeah, but
different times.
Think about her diet growing up.
I know, totally different.
The amount of physical activity.
I know. I was just...
Different breed back then.
I was being funny. Oh, yeah, totally different breed. But I don't want to dwell on how, why, whatever, but I want to give some examples of bad coaches.
I got a lot, so start it off, Daddy.
Any program that is given to you...
I already know where this is going.
Actually, I could take this a whole different way. I just said that out loud, and I thought of 4 different ways to answer it. Any program that is given to you that immediately doesn't cater to your specific needs based on what you have given to your coach is a red flag. As an example, Greg, I want to hire you as my trainer. I'll do whatever exercises you prescribe. I have no injuries or ailments. I will eat whatever you want me to eat. I don't like fish. Can we work together? And you say, yep, this amount of dollar. Thank you so much. I'll get this over to you in 48 hours. Great. I can't wait to see it.
And then guess what I put in the meal plan?
Fish.
Want to know why?
Because you didn't actually write me a meal plan. You just sent me something that was already created.
Yep.
The second thing, if you pay for a coach or you pay for a program and there is no, I don't think urgency is the right word, but there is no immediate action towards knowing when the next time you're communicating with your coach is. Some coaches will have you check in daily when you first start. Some coaches might have you do something for a full week. We're not even going to dispute what somebody's, but at least a coach who lets you know, I'm going to check in tomorrow, I'm going to check in midweek, and then again on the weekend. I'm going to check in on the weekend. I want you to reach out if you have any questions, but I want you to just do this. They're just giving you communication. They say, here's the plan. Please let me know if you have any questions. We're going to touch base again here.
Wednesday.
Whatever it is. If you don't get that,
guess what?
Bad coach.
Yep. Especially with a lot of people who this is their first time working with the coach because they may feel intimidated on when and how to reach out to them.
Yeah.
You know? And again, we're not saying your coach has to tell you every time you speak, hey, by the way, I'm going to check in 4 hours with you.
I'm going to text you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
No,
and then the next day at 7 a.m.
Hey, either I am going to reach out with you here, or you are going to reach out to me here. You know, like Pat said, especially in the beginning. You know, I have everybody in the beginning check in daily. And I'm not saying they're sending photos daily, but there is communication daily. How did day 1 go? How did day 2 go?
Yeah.
Was your water hit? Was your cardio met? How'd your workout go? How were you feeling? You know, like, were you hungry in between meals? Did you feel bloated? So on, so on, so on. You know?
I have so many things now.
I have another one. I thought this is what you were going to say first.
Okay.
When your coach writes you a plan,
Yeah.
and they've already predicted what you're going to be eating 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now,
That was
6 weeks from now.
That was part of this too, and that's where I wanted. That's why I segued with if they don't have that plan of action of when to touch in with you again.
Okay.
I wanted that to lead into when you receive a program that you paid for somebody, and you don't just see a set training program and meal plan. You see week 1, week 2, week 3, however long it goes on for. That tells me that coach doesn't care what's going to happen week 1, week 2, week 3. They're already telling you this is what you're going to do. You just have to follow this, which means it's not individualized.
It's not individualized. And for those who may not understand how the body works, right? That is not how it works. And I'm digging in on that a little bit more because there's so many people that reach out all the time. Hey, can you write me a 2-month program? I'm going on vacation or I'm getting married or whatever. Like, no, that's not how it works. I can give you these foods. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I can give you these amounts, but I don't know how your body's going to respond to them.
Yep.
You know, we need to watch and collect data based on the changes we make and the response it has to your body. And I can't tell you eat this, and in 3 weeks we're going to eat a little bit more of this.
And I want to dig into, I think this is one of the biggest ones. And I want to dig into this a little bit further before we start giving other examples, because other examples are all equally as important, but they're all a little bit smaller. And I think this one is so big because, and we've talked about this before, bodybuilding is a science.
100%.
It is. And I think what coaches think that they can not think, because they're doing it. And it's the consumer's fault for not seeing this ahead of time. But the coaches are doing it. And what they're doing is, if you guys go back and listen to our Nutrition 101 or our Contest Prep 101 episodes, we kind of went into this a little bit. You can create a numbers game with a diet and a meal plan to find success. Now, it's a guideline. Practical use is totally different, but it is a guideline.
Yes.
A coach could start off, and I could say, Greg, you want to start losing some weight with me? No problem. I'm going to give you this. It's 3,000 calories a day with X amount of exercise and this and that. And then after week 2, I'm going to drop it from 3,000 to 2,700. Yeah, 2,750. And then on week 3, 2,500. Then on week, and I slowly drop your calories week by week by week. So that way at the end, you're halfway from where you started and you're at 1,500 calories a day and you've burned through whatever. You've lost X amount of weight because that's what the numbers equate to, right? Sure. There is a science and numbers side to losing weight. But it is not. Dude, you better be careful.
It is not.
That could have been bad for Elijah Craig.
Leave him alone.
It's not practical and realistic, and that's not individualized for every person. Can the majority of people lose weight that way? Yes. But you're neglecting that person's health, that person's needs, by not drawing attention to what they actually need at that time.
Which makes it, again, not as healthy and not as efficient.
Yep.
Yes, you can lose weight, but is it the most safe and conducive way to do so?
No, not at all. You might not have needed 3,000 calories to start. You might not.
I probably did.
As an example.
I'm joking.
But you might not have needed that, and you might not have needed to end at 1,500, right? And it's naive to say like, oh, it's okay because I know he's going to lose weight on this, and he can't say that I didn't help him lose weight. Like I did help him lose weight. That's the mentality that goes into some of these things, these pre-written plans. It's scarier at the end of a program than it is in the beginning of a program. In my opinion, it's not good regardless.
I agree.
It is not. If you, again, we're telling you from just to look out for your own sake. If you see that from the get, not a good idea.
Red flag, run.
I would get my money back. It's even more dangerous at the end of your diet. If you've already been calorically restricted, if you've already been at increased expenditure and you're doing a whole bunch of cardio, eating not a lot of food, training 2-3 hours a day, all these things, and then you get your last 4 weeks of your program, and it's the same kind of thing where it says you're going to eat this week 1, this week 2, this week 3, and then here's your last week. Here's what you got to eat that last week. Here you go. How?
Houdini.
They must be.
I think he was an escape artist, actually. But
magicians was what I was getting at.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Magic.
How can you, as the client, think to yourself that it's okay that my coach just laid out my next 4 weeks without knowing what I look like after week 1, what I look like after week 2, what I look like after week 3, let alone what I look like after day 1, day 2, up to day 28. Just the fact that like, no, it's okay. Follow this for a month and then we'll touch base.
If they're giving you a plan like that, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, whatever it is, okay, odds are when you do send a check-in, if a coach like this even has you send a check-in, they're probably not even looking and comparing.
No.
Because they know you already have the plan for next week.
Why would they need to change anything?
So here you go. Keep on to it.
It'll be like a great job.
Yeah.
That'll be the type of coach that tells you
great job, period, no change, period, send.
Or the fake hype up. Oh, amazing. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. Keep with the program.
Done.
Nothing else. And listen, I still wouldn't condone this, but for the average lifestyle person, I'm sure back in the day you could go on bodybuilding.com and find a free program, an 8-week summer shred program that kind of gives you a guideline like this. And that was 100% created for the masses. Why would you pay a coach to give you what is free online for the masses?
Yep.
You can't predict what the body's going to do. You need to see what is physically happening on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis or whatever your coach's check-in process is. If you see you're being given multiple weeks, and again, we're talking about, this is more specific to contest prep, not off-season bodybuilding, because I do know some coaches who will go bi-weekly in the off-season, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm talking more like contest prep or losing weight. If you're being given direction for extended periods of time ahead of schedule, something's wrong. And I would probably start asking some questions. But before we even get to that, there's so many other red flags.
I would say there's so much that I want to go off.
A coach that doesn't talk about how much water you should be taking a day.
Yep.
A coach that tells you should not have sodium.
That's one of my favorites.
This is the most prehistoric, old school, just...
The amount of things that go wrong after an extended period of time.
It's just so bad.
They don't understand the body if they're telling you that.
No. If someone tells you from the start of your program you are restricting sodium, that person has no idea what they're doing, and they are just trying to get you to lose number on a scale as fast as you can.
Sodium, guess what's going to happen?
When you pull sodium, you'll start losing weight pretty quick.
But it's not pulling water.
It ain't fat.
You're not burning fat. So you're going to jump on the scale, you're going to be excited.
Yes.
Are you going to look in the mirror and love the look that you have? No. Is it going to come back as soon as you add sodium back in? Yep. Then some.
The coach that does that is in the business of getting as many clients as they can and forking over the same meal plan, training program, everything all in one to the masses and trying to collect as many checks as they can in a short period of time before somebody figures out that they have no idea what they're doing.
And listen, that's not to say that sometimes, especially in the bodybuilding world, there isn't sodium manipulation that may be utilized for a very short window of time.
Sure.
Okay. We're talking towards the end of a peak week, something like that, right? If your coach is telling you and it's not, hey, like we got to dry out now or something like that, or you need to make weight or whatever it is, and they're just telling you to avoid sodium, they are really hurting you.
Yeah. It's scary. I've had numerous consultations that start that way. That the question gets asked about sodium, or I explain the startup process with me and how I kind of start to create whatever. I'm just giving a little bit insight about myself. And during a consultation, someone will say, I can salt my food.
Yeah.
That's it is beyond scary to think
blows my mind.
that people were still believing that salt makes you fat or sodium makes you fat, and you got to have no sodium in your diet to lose weight.
Can you imagine? Like,
no, I would not be able to function if I had.
I was just gonna say,
how would you train? How would you do anything? So, and that can lead into other things that aren't allowed in diets as well. But I wanted to cover as many topics of little things and red flags that we can to give people a good idea of what to not accept from a coach without sitting here and talking about what we offer as coaches.
yeah.
Because some of you that are already listening already pay for our services and already know exactly what we provide to you. So we don't need to sell to you. And to the few of you that
Keep talking. I'll
listen,
turn that fan on, dude.
are you getting hot?
Dude, it's hot in here.
All right. The few of you that do not pay for our services but still listen, we appreciate you. 1. 2, this is not a sales pitch to say leave your coach and come and start training. Now I'm talking to nothing. I just realized if you get up and walk away, my head is still facing this way.
Yeah, but you look good like that, dude.
And you're not here anymore.
Keep talking.
I just looked at the camera just to make sure that I'm talking to you guys. Now you're back and I can continue talking to you.
Proceed.
This is not a sales pitch
With
to
the
say
coach talk.
leave your coach and come and work with us. This is
But if you want to, go for it.
Just more kidding. So please be aware of what to look for. That way, when it comes time to find your next coach, you can shop around and you can ask these questions.
Yeah.
You can be straight up with the there should be no vetting process or being nervous about asking a coach to work with that. You're the person with the coach has the service.
You're the one who is paying for a service.
Yeah, the coach has the service.
You need to get what you want out of it.
Yes. You should be asking all these questions. I love getting questions in the beginning of a program.
It makes me feel the client is actually wanting to learn and get something out of it.
They care about this, and they want this just as bad
Yes.
as I want it for them. So, again, this isn't a sales pitch. I wanted to cover as many no-brainer things that happen with coaches that people should look out for. And if you know that's you, if you've heard any of these, and that's your coach, and that's you, please stop.
You know what I've gotten multiple times in the past?
What?
More commonly with females, okay? They're part of these big teams where there's 50, 100 plus competitors, right? And they come in, they show me their stuff. Hey, part of my questionnaire is for a new client, like, what are you currently doing for A, B, C, D, whatever, And one of it is talking about workouts. What do your workouts look like? Your split, how many working sets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, rest periods, whatever. I get people who send me, or I've had people come in with folders of their exact workouts that their coach has sent them, 12, fucking 16, 20 week, whatever it is, workout split, right? Where it's, okay, leg extensions, 30 pounds, 15 reps. Set 2, leg extensions, 35 pounds, 15 reps. Like, I've asked these people, have you worked in person with this coach before? No.
As
How do they know?
an in-person coach, this is something that actually does grind my gears a little bit. When I write man, can't talk, introductory program for somebody, and it is online as an example, and you're not seeing me in person, or when somebody asks me and they work with me in person and I write them some other outside workouts too, and their question is like, well, how much weight? You said 20 reps.
How much weight should I
How
use?
much weight do you want me to use?
I don't know.
You just contacted me from Kansas. I've never met you before in
Yeah.
person.
I don't know.
I have no idea what
I
weight
don't know
you
how
should
much
use.
weight on that leg extension machine. Again, machines will vary
Yes.
with resistance, right?
100%.
So, perfect example. 2 leg extensions at the warehouse, right?
Two totally different movements.
You put 100 pounds on one, you put 100 on the other. It is night and day.
Yep.
You know?
And
Point being.
this is another point that leads into something a good coach should do versus a bad coach would do. A bad coach might tell you do 50 pounds by 30 reps. A good coach might tell you you're going to start with 2 sets of 20 reps as a warm-up, and then we'll explain what you should be feeling in that warm-up. We are pumping blood into the muscle. If it's a leg extension, your quads should be filling with blood. You should start to feel a slight burn, but not too much that you're starting to feel fatigued and you can't perform the next sets that are coming. And then it's an explanation of what the next sets that are coming are. And maybe it's 1 set of 15 before it's 2 working sets of 10, or maybe it's a feeder set of 5. But it's this is the range. This is what you should feel, start to understand. And it's a breakdown of what they should be getting and doing.
So they can select a weight that best works for them for those exercises and where they're going to get the most out of it.
Yes. There was 2 points I wanted to touch on when it came to the weight thing. I said one was if your coach is giving you the weight bad. Maybe it was just that, and a good coach would give you just the rep range, but then we'll also explain to you what is needed out of it.
Here's the deal. To put that in a little bit easier reference standpoint, right? I have in-person clients that work with me 3, 4, 2, whatever times a week, right? Guess what sometimes changes? The weight they use on an exercise we did the week before for the same amount of reps.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables that come into play here.
Life happens.
Life happens, fatigue, how many meals do they have in them, whatever. You know, where their mind is that day. Are they all in that workout or are they not all in that workout? You know, like there's days where Pat, for example, we're doing a hack squat and Pat's got 4 plates on there and he's just cranking it out. There are times where he's like, whew, that was heavy today. What is he going to do? He's going to listen to his body. He's going to work smarter, not harder, not risk injury. He's going to drop the weight, maybe slow down the tempo a little bit, and get the same amount of fatigue out of that set, right? But because he didn't feel good with the heavier weight for that set, he adjusted. So if I'm sitting here just writing clients' workouts and I'm just guessing what weight they should do, there's a good chance that they may be underworking. There's a good chance that they might be putting a lot of potential risk on themselves.
Yep.
So
Overworking.
Red flag.
Another red flag. I just had it. I hope I don't lose it. If a coach, fudge, dude,
says that you need to send your check-in photos nude so they can see all of your lines and separations.
Red flag.
Call the police.
Yeah. Big.
There's probably children buried in their basement.
Big red flag. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah.
Don't. Just don't.
Guys and girls.
Yeah.
Because there are coaches who do both.
Just don't.
And it gives people like us who make a living off this a very bad name.
Yep. Because that's it's.
And here's the thing: people are probably like, "Well, why would they send it in the first place?" But I don't think they realize a lot of people looking for a coach. Well, you better remember.
I know. I'm going to remember.
A lot of people who are looking for a coach are already putting all of their trust into somebody else. They're hiring you in a lot of situations because they don't know and understand this world, right? And they may or may not have some insecurities.
Yes.
So when they have somebody saying, hey, I need you to do this. Trust me, everyone else does it. This is how I'm really fully seeing every way your body is responding. Don't worry about it. These pictures are for you and me only. They will never be reshared, blah, 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 blah. People are like, well,
It's what he said.
I guess I got to do it. I want to be my best.
Yeah. Guys, believe it or not, there are clients that if I was like, you need to eat a plate of dirt every night before you go to bed if you really want to get shredded.
Because of all of the natural antioxidants inside.
There are some clients that would be like, okay, 1 plate of dirt before I go to bed at night. No problem. Yep. Did you want it from
Can I throw cinnamon on
my front yard or my backyard? Like, where did you want the dirt to come?
Clay, peat moss.
People would do it. My point.
Yeah.
Hire a coach you trust, which, to go off of what Greg just described, people do put trust into their coaches. The biggest red flag as a client to realize whether you actually trust your coach or not is if you need to seek approval
from other people,
from others, whether they be a coach or not, about your journey and your progress. If your coach doesn't fulfill their job as a coach and make you feel trusted, or make you feel like you trust them and comfortable with the decisions you make on a daily basis. This can go from the training you're doing, the food you're eating, the supplements or PEDs that you are taking. If your coach is giving you something that you immediately might not agree with, and instead of asking, hey, just want to understand why I'm doing this thing, you go and find somebody else and say, what do you think about this? This is what my coach gave me.
Well, you don't trust the coach, which already says whether what their plan was right or wrong for you.
It's a bad relationship.
You shouldn't be with them because the relationship is not there.
Yep.
This is something that is built solely on trust.
It might make my day harder. It might make my job harder.
Yeah.
But I want those questions.
For sure.
I don't want
you doing anything that you don't understand.
Oh,
you're not going to do it with intent.
You're not going to do it with intent. You know these two people.
I know a lot of people's, dude.
These two people in particular
of
mine that are notorious for sending me a message. Oh, this could be taken out of context as to who these two people are. If you think you're the two people, you're not the two people, by the way.
Wink, wink.
About a message about like, this is this thing, I want to try it because I saw this. Should I do this too? No. I would have, if I thought it was beneficial for you,
you'd be doing it.
Would have had you doing it, actually, believe it or not. And that is not to say that I am the end-all be-all and that I know everything. If there is something that is new and brought to my attention, I am more than willing to do some research and figure out if something is worth using, utilizing, adding as an addition, whatever the thing may be.
For sure.
But I'll get somebody who's worked with me and had outstanding results before, looked in the best shape of her life. And then I'll get a message about like, well, what do you think about intermittent fasting? Because like
Katie's doing it.
This coach was telling me that like it's super good and like they're a coach.
Like, well, go work with them.
Yeah. I'm a coach too. Your coach. And I've told you before, it ain't for you. If I thought it would be beneficial for you, you'd be doing it.
Done.
It ain't for you. And again, and I normally would explain, if this was somebody who just for the first time
you would explain
gave
why you're
me
saying that.
Yes, if this was the first time this person had asked me this question, I would be more than willing to answer why I don't believe that's right for that said person. But this is somebody who asks similar questions repetitively over and over again.
Yes.
And it's almost
and so you guys don't get it twisted.
Guys, this is also a family member, so I'm being very loose here with how I talk to this person. But this is a family member who I can finally say, no, you're being dumb.
And so you guys don't get it twisted, right? Like, Pat or I are not saying that you can't ask questions about, hey, why am I doing this to your coach or whatever the situation is, right? You should be able to ask those, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's... What did the family member just ask?
It'll be something like intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Hey, so
it's not saying
Becky
that
from
Pat does not think that intermittent fasting may play a role in someone specific's nutrition program.
Yeah.
But instead of saying, hey, Katie's doing this and I should be doing this too because she's losing weight, it's, hey, coach, I know we're doing A, B, and C. Is there a reason why I'm seeing other people doing this? What benefits are there?
Yeah.
You know, it's something I'm interested in. And Pat might say, hey, listen, great question. Or he might say, hey, listen, don't worry about what they're doing. We're doing what's best for you. But regardless, there's right ways and wrong ways to do a lot of things. And we've said it before, there's many ways to skin a cat, right? So we're not saying that what we give you, you have to be like, this is my Bible and I have to just follow it.
Yep.
Because if you are doing something, let's say that example that Pat gave, his client was like, hey, like, you know, you've been giving me this, but I'm not going to lie. I don't feel good. I'm always skipping meals because I'm too busy.
Yep.
And when I try and force one down, I have horrible digestion and I'm bloated and I got acid reflux or whatever. Is there a different way? And Pat might say, you know what? I'm so happy you told me that you were not responding well to the information I gave you. Let's try a different approach.
Correct.
So don't be afraid to tell us when something isn't feeling good.
Right.
But don't also tell us what to do because you see somebody else doing it.
Right. There should be open communication, but it's not, you're not another
It's not
person.
set, yeah, but anything we give is not set in stone. We need that communication to make adjustments, to make the perfect plan for you in that situation.
Yes. And it is our job. It's our job to make it as easy and effective for you. But this is still bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult.
It should be a challenge.
Don't hire the coach. There's another one. Don't hire the coach that promises you won't have to do more than 45 minutes of cardio.
Because guess what?
You probably...
They're just telling you what you want to hear. And
Yes.
that's not saying that you're going to have to do more than 45.
You might... Yeah.
But you don't know, and the coach does not know how you're going to respond and if you're going to be able to get away with only 45 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is.
You'll never have to eat under 1,800 calories. I promise. How do you know?
You don't.
How?
They're just telling you what you want to hear.
Empty promises.
So you sign the dotted line, send them some money, and they got you in the pocket.
Yep. Because listen, there are times that as coaches we have to make hard decisions and we have to give hard actions that we don't enjoy giving them as much as you don't enjoy doing them. This is not the healthiest sport. We do what we do with your health in mind. We want to get it done the healthiest way possible. But at the end of the day, bodybuilding isn't a healthy sport.
Well said.
That's the reality of it.
What about the coaches that hype themselves up more than their clients hype them up? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this example?
Just talking about how good of a coach they are.
Like, they're always like, yeah, essentially, without verbatim saying, hey, I'm the best coach, come to me. They're constantly always selling themselves or their product, right? But you never see their clients selling their product.
Yes, or the coach who posts about their clients' successes or failures or whatever, and instead of like, I honestly think I write the same thing every time, and I don't do it intentionally. I'm just, whenever my clients go and accomplish something, I'm just proud. That's like literally the only word I can think of. I'm just proud for them, right? I'm proud that they trusted me. I'm proud that we helped each other get to this place. And then I also know that I did a good job in getting them there the healthiest way possible. And I'm just proud of that. I'm proud of the accomplishment. And everything I write is probably right around the same thing, said in different words, but just getting the point across that I'm super proud of them. Look at what they've accomplished. I'm so happy for them. There are coaches that will tag you after you've done this thing and will be like, I made this guy do this, this, and this, and this, and look at what he got because of
let the client have their moment.
Yeah.
They tagged you. That's good enough.
They did the work.
They tagged you.
Not you. You didn't do the work. They did the work.
You guided them.
Yeah. Because I don't believe in not. Again, I don't want to make this about social media. I don't believe in not posting your clients.
No.
I think if you're proud of your clients, I think you should post your clients. But what I'm saying is, it should be like, Becky came to me with only 10 weeks left before the show, and I had to really pull some.
I had to fix this coach's issues.
I had to fix this other coach's issues and get her on the right protocol and get these things. Blah 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 blah. Talk about me, and now look at this trophy she takes home. It's like that post wasn't even about her. That post was about
you.
It's about you.
And it happens all the time. And again, I'm not saying, because I'm not a coach who strokes everybody's ego. I'm not a coach who, like, you get these crazy, crazy hype ups every time you send a check in or whatever. Like, I'm pretty straight to the point. Hey, man, great week. Keep it up. We're going to change A, B, and C. You need anything else? Let me know. Blah, 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 blah.
Believe it or not, we're pretty similar.
Yeah, and that's probably how it should be, right?
We
I'm not going to give you these fake things like, hey, man, keep killing it. Oh, my God, you got the genetics of a god. Blah. Guess what? Your client's probably just going to start backing off the gas. Number one, right?
We give direction that's needed.
Yeah.
And we give if a compliment is needed, it is needed. But we're here to do a job, and that's to get you where you asked us to get you in the healthiest way possible.
You're not paying me to be your friend. You're not paying me to be your cheerleader. You are paying us to make the right calls for you and what you told us you wanted to get out of this.
Compliments can be dangerous.
Yep.
We should lead as a coach. You should be with somebody who leads by example, and you see how they carry themselves and think, that's how I want to carry myself. That's how I want to be, not filling somebody's head with a bunch of compliments and just hyping them up nonstop. Because now somebody is sticking with you because you make them feel good, like, emotionally.
Yeah.
Or they work with you because, like, they make me feel really, really good. But it doesn't matter what the actual result is. And there's a time and a place for compliments when they're needed.
Yes.
But I think compliments can be harmful.
I agree, especially in bodybuilding.
Yeah. Listen, there's a way to look at even the worst check-in possible. I don't like to do this, but there is, because it's not who I am as a person. And I'm sure there are coaches who do this. The worst check-in known to mankind, right? Whether it be no pictures, hey, I didn't follow anything this week because I didn't want to. Don't know what my weight is. Maybe I'll try harder next week. I'm trying to think of a bad check-in, right? And I'm sure there's a coach out there that can spin it and be like, I appreciate this honesty. This is someone who's real with themselves. This is someone who's willing to make and it's like, no.
That's the seventh time she did that in 9 months.
Yeah. No, that's not going to help anybody. You can't. No, like, sometimes the compliment isn't needed. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, sure. Recognize that real is real.
Yes.
Appreciate you not lying to me. You got to do better, though.
You want this, not me. Why do I want this more than you do?
Here's what I want you to do in order to get there. Bam.
Done.
Again, these are very specific examples we're giving, but, like, these are all little things that you should be.
I do think that that's a big thing that people do is people look at these coaches who are just constantly cheerleading for their clients. And they're like, I want somebody like that because they're going to post me all the time or they're going to do this. And they're going to, okay. They're doing that only to market themselves. They're not doing it because they actually are proud of what you've accomplished. And maybe they are proud of your results, right?
Yeah.
But I let my clients speak for it. And then maybe I'll share it, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not out there trying to pull that information out of them to basically get a testimonial. You know what I mean?
God, I hope this client writes me a good testimonial.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. No, it is nitpicky now, and I don't want to go too much into, because the more we talk about this, the more we could literally find 1,000 more examples of people.
I got a good one, though.
Do you want to give it real quick before I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, because you look like you're about to end this.
No, I was just going to kind of transition a little bit, but go ahead.
Well, we'll transition.
No, tell me.
If your coach is a drug dealer...
Oh, yeah, he's not your coach. He's a drug dealer.
He's not your coach. He's a drug dealer.
This should have been right up there with, sorry, I can't believe we skipped on this one. this should have been right up there with the sodium and the pre-made plans.
Yeah.
This is right up there with, if you're getting a pre-made plan for an extended period of time, if your coach is telling you no sodium, or if your coach is your drug dealer. These are like the top
Guess
three.
what?
The top three get out.
Run as fast as you fucking can.
You were just given a get out of jail free card. If you see one of those three things, we're giving you a get out of jail free card. Get out.
I love it. People have been like, yeah, well, so and so's I got to work with him, but I need to make sure that I only get my product from him because he wants to make sure that I get everything that is the best of the best and blah 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 blah. Oh, and they have their own supplement line and they what you know what I mean? Like, and I need to get these products and no.
Pat, I work with you, or I want to work with you, and like I'm going to start working with you, but my current coach is my supplier, so I'm going to wait until like I finish my package with him. But let me know what you think you're going to want me to start with, so that way I can like buy it from him and keep a good relationship with him before I switch over to you. What?
Wrongo.
You want to what?
Yeah. That coach will tell you whatever you want to hear just so they can keep making extra money off of you on the side.
Yeah.
Because that's
they're
their
double
main source
dipping
of
on you.
income. That is their main source of income. It's very common, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's what we call a nice little double dip.
What are you transitioning into, man?
Just away from examples.
Okay.
I was just going to say, we could continue to go on, and the more we talk, the more we will.
The more that will come out.
Yes, we will think of another one. We will think of another one. And I wish we had a board and we could put the top three up there. One day, people. But to transition away from just these long-winded examples of things that we've seen or we've heard or that have come our way over the years of doing this, your coach and you have a relationship with one another. It's a high communication, high trust, high risk, high reward relationship. Just like most relationships in your life. And it should be treated as a relationship. I think that because bodybuilding is a leisure sport or a, what's the word? Privileged?
Sure.
It's a privilege to do bodybuilding. It is not it costs a lot of money to do it. It is not a sport for the financially unstable, the weak. So like it is a sport that it's a luxury. It really is. Your coach is like your number one investment. Number one. PEDs, as we've talked about in other episodes, and we'll continue to talk about in future episodes,
Performance-enhancing drugs.
play a huge role in bodybuilding. I'm going to go as far and say that your coach is a better investment than your drugs. I'm going to go as far as say your coach is right up there with, it's definitely more important than the gym you go to. A good coach will make it work with whatever gym you're at, within reason.
Yes.
But a good coach is going to make it work with whatever gym you have equipment access to. A good coach is going to do the best job he has with whatever food sources you have available to you. Again, within reason. But say you don't live in a place where you have the luxury to get, I don't know, quality fish. I don't know. I'm just thinking of an example that something might be scarce in your area. A good coach will make it work.
Yeah.
For you. It's like the number one investment into bodybuilding. Why? Why would you ever put your trust into somebody that's so bad at what they do?
Yeah. I do think, though, a lot of it, again, it's price shopping, right? But I think it's also a lot of people are unsure of how to shop for a coach.
And I will agree. We've talked about this before. We are very open about this. Us being exposed to the industry for as long as we have been, there are things that are second nature to us that are not second nature to others.
Yeah.
So we realize that. And that's why we're doing this episode, is because we realize that the beginner might not know any of this, and they will go and meet someone, and they will hire the first person they meet as long as it's in their price range, they seem like a good guy or girl, and they've done it for someone else before, so why can't they do it for me?
Yeah.
They'll just jump on board, right? That beginner's not going to know. Just like how when we did the 101 series, like to us, those were very rudimentary. Jeez, I can't speak.
I understand.
They were very basic and things that you and I both take for granted. And other people do not. And this is a big one of those things. Is that your coach, this is the one time I'll say it, should probably be guys like us. That this stuff is such second nature to us that we want you to just have it and know it already.
Yeah. They eat and breathe bodybuilding.
Yep. That was all the transition I want to made. You can now go back.
Transition.
Thanks, dude. You can go back to like any other examples or anything else you want to get
No,
to.
I mean, I think you pretty much nailed it. I think that I don't want to be too repetitive, so I'm going to try not to dig into this too much more. But I think people just look for the wrong things in a coach. They don't know what to look for. And granted, some people do know what to look for, but like we already mentioned, they're just solely just going off of who's going to be the cheapest.
Yep.
But think about it. Go ahead.
We might have kind of already said this. Don't hire someone you want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Did we
I
say
already
that?
said, I said, we're not hiring us to be your friend.
Yeah, we said that, but don't go to someone who you're like, I think that guy's cool. I should hire him. That guy's really big. I should hire him. Look at the best coaches in the world in this industry. I'll give two examples.
Chris Aceto
and Hanny Rambod. If you look at either one of those, Chris Aceto looks like your parents' accountant.
Facts.
Hanny Rambod looks like, I can't say what I was going to
Meatloaf.
say because I would have gotten in a lot of trouble. Hanny Rambod just looks like a middle-aged dad.
Yeah.
He does. Who like, yeah, he used to work out. And he's got some arms on him, but he's got.
Granted, we understand they have the credibility, but we're saying pretend it's not Hani and it's not Chris.
Yeah.
There are these other people who may not necessarily look the role anymore. They may not have the biggest Instagram following or whatever the situation is, right?
Because they're obviously.
That does not mean they're not knowledgeable.
Yes.
You have to ask questions when shopping for a coach, and it shouldn't lead with price, right?
Because there are also people, rest in peace to both of them, like a John Meadows and a Matt Porter, who both looked and lived and breathed the life like we do.
But they were amazing coaches.
Yes, hyper intelligent and amazing coaches as well. The point is that there are other coaches like Chris Aceto and a Hanny Rambod who are at the top level, just like those other two guys were. But by looking at them, you wouldn't think
they don't look anything like each other.
No, and you wouldn't think as a young and up and coming bodybuilder, I'm going to hire that guy because I want to be like him.
Nope.
No.
You would hire Matt. You would, you know what I mean?
But that's not. You don't hire a coach to be a friend. You don't hire a coach because you want to look like that person.
You hire a coach because you know that you guys get along. You like what they preach, and you see the results that they put out. Now, that's not to say that's going to be your forever coach.
No.
Right? It may be. It might be someone who you work with for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and like we're still not seeing eye to eye, or he's still not doing A or B, C, whatever.
Just don't communicate the best way possible.
Yeah, or I need someone who words things a little differently to me.
Yep.
Whatever. That's your choice. Go on. Move on then, you know? But it shouldn't be based on a look or a social media status or anything like that. It should be who is putting out results, who do I feel I would work the best with based on their style of coaching, and let me give them a fair chance then, right?
Yep.
Me saying that, though, made me think about coach shopping and coach hopping, right? Mm-hmm. This does not mean, though, that it would be productive for you to every 3 months go try a new coach. That is the worst thing you could possibly do, because I don't care who you are and how skilled you are only going to get better with your client over time, because it's the more you guys are going to learn how to work together. It's the more you're going to learn their body's response to different protocols. Right. And each and every time you guys prep or whatever it is that you're doing, you off season, whatever, you're going to learn more and more about their body and how to continuously make it better. So if you work with a coach for 3 months, 6 months, then you go to another person because they didn't get you the first place spot you wanted or the overall.
You're just
then you go to a
restarting
next
every
person.
3-6
You
months.
are restarting. I don't care even if it is a Hani or a Chris. They still have to learn your body, you know?
Yep.
So definitely don't go to a coach or don't stay with a coach that you feel is not suitable for you. But that's why you have to be more particular about how you pick your next coach so you can dedicate at least 12 months to them the first time to give each other a fair chance to learn your body and get the best results out of it. You know, if you're moving around every 60 to 90 days, guess what? You're only hurting your fucking self.
Yep.
You have anything else to add, man?
No. I mean, I do.
There's a lot.
There's so much. I just keep thinking of more and more things. If your coach doesn't have a required response time,
Yeah.
your coach should probably have a 24-hour response time, if any. And listen, I'm not perfect. I've missed I've missed a window. I've had a Sunday where I couldn't respond to something because a life event. But there should be a set something.
Yeah.
Responses should be if you send anything to your coach and you don't hear responses for days, hours.
There's an issue.
This is an issue. Don't expect you're going to send something to
an
your
immediate response.
Yes, don't
What about coaches? You kind of covered this a little bit. What about coaches who in no way, shape, or form fit the mold or look the part? What's your take on that?
You better walk the walk. It's not for me. It's really not. Again, we just talked about an Aceto or a Hanny.
Yes,
And there are some coaches that don't look like.
Aceto and Hani have both proved
I know.
themselves based on their credentials and their clients' results and their old physiques.
Right, and that's what I meant by walk the walk. I would not expect if we had never met and I went and hired a coach who was a competitive bodybuilder 20 years ago and walked the walk and then also has a book of business of clients that have continued to walk the walk for him, would I be like, I'm not going to hire you because now in your 40s or 50s you don't look good anymore? I personally would not hire a coach for that reason.
Wouldn't not.
I would hire that coach still.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. If it's somebody who never walked the walk,
Yes.
but read a book, it's a very broad example, so don't take this completely out of context. All the people that clip our videos and take us out of context all the time.
Yeah, it happens.
Like walking into GNC and seeing the guy with the pot belly beer, whatever you want to call it, beer belly, standing behind the thing and tells you it's my favorite fat burner because it works the best. Does it?
There goes $60.
Does it work the best? Tell me how it works for you.
Yeah.
But that's the listen, if this was an older gentleman who maybe wasn't in the best shape working, whatever, right? I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here. But I wouldn't mind hiring a coach as long as they have walked the walk.
Yes.
In some regard.
They have to know what you're feeling, what you're going through. They have to know what to expect throughout a prep in order to truly put their clients through it. You know, they have to know what it's like to diet down. They have to know the body's response to different things. They have to know how certain drugs work. There are so much that go into play. But again, that doesn't mean that they have to actively be a competitive bodybuilder now.
No.
But have you bodybuild? Do you know what it takes? Do you understand the process?
Or are you just here to take someone's money?
Yep. Oh, yeah, I can get you into shape, Steven. Steven never got in shape, dude.
Probably not. It sounded like that man was 87 years old.
He was, actually, yeah, he was.
Yeah. That's what it sounded like. Anything else?
Just be careful, guys.
Yeah, this is your health.
Yeah.
Please choose wisely.
Put yourself first. You remember, you are paying for a service.
Yep.
You need to be selfish. Put yourself first, but be realistic. Yep. And know, hey, this is what I want out of a coach. I want A, B, C, D, E. These are the things that I'm looking for from a sense of accountability. This is where I know I lack on my own. This is why I'm hiring somebody who's going to give me the best service for that. And you learn that by talking to them or watching them or whatever the situation is. And then from there, then you can start looking at price.
Yep.
But you need to start somewhere. And for me, it's start by what are the obvious things that I know are going to suit and benefit me.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a selfish sport. Be selfish with your decisions.
100%. I agree, man.
I would have mic dropped there if we had the ability to drop a mic.
Yeah, we should have dropped this bitch.
We don't because they are on stands.
Sorry. Next time.
Too serious today, dude. We didn't even get any movie quotes in.
I'm sorry. Did I fail you?
That's all right, dude.
Listen, man, people got to stop paying these fugazis.
We'll
dude.
get them next time.
Fugazi was kind of a quote.
It was. It was a word, but it was a quote.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Until next time.
10-4.
Over and out.